Stress and emotional management, spiritual and emotional growth and maturity are going to require some changes. To get different results, we must do different things. To get better results, we're going to have to make some changes. Embracing the new often means releasing the old. That means we might have to change some behaviors, some response patterns, some interactions. We might have to change the way we think about things, the way we approach things, what we do. We're going to have to learn some new strategies. But as Albert Einstein is often quoted as saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So we don't want to do the same things that we've been doing that have gotten us where we are. We want to learn new and better strategies, and we want to embrace some good changes to move forward, to grow in towards spiritual and emotional health and maturity and stress and emotional management. Change is inevitable. It's important. It's occurring whether we know it or not, and it's occurring all around us. The change that we're talking about is a purposeful, intentional choice towards growth-oriented practices with a maturity focus. When we see that something isn't working for us or it's not producing the fruit that we want, it's making intentional choices, finding intentional, purposeful strategies that we can participate in order to improve the quality of our lives, the way that we love other people, and to grow into more spiritually healthy and emotionally healthy individuals. It's important to anticipate that our change will impact other people, and it will impact other areas of our lives. It's impossible to accurately predict all of the ways that change will affect us or those around us, whether in good ways or in bad ways. When we embark on intentional and purposeful change of an area of our lives, we're changing how we are interacting. And when we do that, we change our relationships. And our changes can be uncomfortable for other people. They might not understand why we're making these changes. It might change the way we're interacting with them in a way that makes them uncomfortable, or they might not have seen that the way that we thought we needed change, and they might disagree with our desire for change. Change can also temporarily increase anxiety and stress. That can be in ourselves or in other people. It might be that as we're beginning to change, we're a little anxious. What's going to happen? How's it going to work out? Are we going to be good at this new thing, at this new way of living? And instead of decreasing our stress immediately, it can increase it a little bit. That usually fades and passes as we get better at our new skills and strategies. Change in one area can create strain in another area as well, especially at first. If you begin to really work on time management, you might find that you're wrestling in your financial management area. If you begin to work in financial management, you might find that you're wrestling in some of your relationships areas. Sometimes when we put a lot of effort in one area, another area suffers just a little bit at first. And if you can tolerate that discomfort for a while, usually that passes as well. Also, people often resist change, sometimes unconsciously. Sometimes they even sabotage our efforts for change. We can do this to ourselves as well. So this happens a lot, say if people are trying to start a new diet, and other people unconsciously, without realizing it, will bring in cookies into your environment. Or maybe you'll sign yourself up to make cookies for a bake sale or something. And so it often happens that there's some resisting of change, and if we are aware of it, if we pay attention to it, we can overcome that, and we don't have to sabotage our efforts to make positive change. We're looking for change that is transformative, that is productive and useful, and that makes a real difference in our lives. That usually means effort, time, and energy. It usually means that it's not going to be easy or instant. But we're looking for something real and lasting that will really make a difference. As the author of our text says, every desperate grasp for quick solutions is a search for magic, not a miracle. We're not looking for magic here. We want to be willing to put the effort in and see what the Lord will do with the effort that we give Him as we surrender and transform, and as we grow and develop and mature. When the pain of living a life that is not what God has for us is greater than our fear of change, we are ready to leave our comfort zone. As Peter Cesaro says, we must ask ourselves, am I living faithfully to the life God has asked me to live? And if there are areas in which we need to change in order to do that, the first strategy is to leave our comfort zones. We acknowledge that change is not comfortable, that the type of change we are longing for will not come accidentally or magically. We recognize that growth change is a choice, it's a decision, and it requires deliberate action. Growth does not occur in comfort zones, and so we choose to leave our comfort zones and move towards growth and change. Once we have decided to pursue change, to pursue spiritual and emotional growth, and behavioral change that will lead to spiritual and emotional growth, it is important for us to pray for courage. You cannot muscle your way to emotional or spiritual change. You are partnering with the work of the Holy Spirit. You cannot muster the courage for this practice. You have to pray and ask for it. I think this is also true for behavioral change that leads towards spiritual and emotional maturity and growth. Change always brings consequence, so prepare yourself for some pushback. Prepare yourself for some rejection. Discomfort is necessary for growth. Healing takes time, and it cannot be rushed. But that's okay. Wait patiently for the Lord. Be brave and courageous. Yes, wait patiently for the Lord, as the psalmist says, because He is faithful. As we are working out our change, He is faithful, and He will be with us all the way through.